Welcome back to my channel. If you've not been here before, this is Dave Lowe from Get Some Colour in Your Life. Thanks for joining me. Hopefully you find this video quite useful, quite informative, and I'm going to do a few different techniques in watercolour that I enjoy doing to give you a nice alternative texture in your watercolour. And I'm going back almost to my roots. I used to paint a lot with yellow ochre in the sky to start off, and then go over with ultramarine blue. Now, I know a few people have commented on this, saying they're amazed really how the sky hasn't come out green. And I don't know whether it would. If you carry on messing, maybe it will. But if you do normally paint with yellow ochre and blue for the sky, let me know in the comments section if you've had that problem with green. I don't tend to mess too much with the sky area, so I get the yellow ochre down and then just pop in some blue, not disturbing it too much, just allowing the colours to mix and just lightly brushing over with, as you can see, my hair brush. So let me know in your comments if you do like to use these two colours together and your experiences. I would really appreciate that. So I'm going to be doing, it's quite a nice, simple landscape. Like I said, I want to include some nice, interesting techniques for you. You may have seen these techniques or you may not. And this is just to give variety to the texture, mostly in the foreground, but also in the background as well. So I've laid in my sky quite simply, and then once I've created a hill line, or could be mountains. Once I've done that with a pale wash, because this is in the distance, I want to keep things nice and pale, quite light. I'm just going in with a clean damp brush just to lift off some highlights in the mountains or hills, whatever they may be. And you can see quite a nice delicate touch. Maybe you want to darken some of the shadow sides. You could do this really by going darker with the hills in the first place. So if not, it's not to worry. You can always go in and add your darks like I'm doing now. So this is wet in wet, so I'm going to get no hard edges. They're going to be nice and soft and diffused, so it's going to be well in the distance in this painting. And then I just wanted to create a little another layer. So this is going to be a bit of land, maybe some rocks, and sort of those things that you see in the countryside. So I'm using quite a dark saturated colour for this, and I do apologise for my ring light and just flashing there. I did fix it, it just needed turning on and off. And now for my next technique, I'm using cling film. This is ordinary kitchen cling film, what we call here in this in the UK, and just cut a little bit off. And then you don't have to be neat with this, so the more wrinkles you get in the cling film, you can see, the better it is. That gives an extra texture. So this is going to be sort of a hard rocky surface. And then another technique that I really enjoy doing, if you've not tried this yet, then I think everyone who paints in watercolour should try this. And this is going to be scraping rocks. So on top of this peninsula, I'm just popping in a different colour, slightly darker in tone. Add a bit of colour in there just to make things interesting. And then once I've got that colour down, I'm not waiting for it to dry fully, just sort of half dry. So it's a bit damp. If you touch it with your finger, it would leave a fingerprint. And then with a little cut up credit card, just going in, scraping out a few rocks. And now removing the cling film, you can see what's happened there. I just let this dry, and once it's dry you can save to remove the cling film, and it gives this nice almost marble effect. So if you're painting things like rocks, any sort of rugged surfaces, then this is really ideal for that sort of texture. And now I'm just adding in some colour. I'm not really fussed what colour. This is just filling out the land area in the closest foreground. So a little bit of sap green and then a little bit of yellow ochre, just let them mix together. I do like to mix my colours on the paper, it just adds more interest. And now another technique that I don't always use, but a little bit of table salt. This is regular salt from the cupboard. Just sprinkle a little bit in the wet paint, and then just let that dry. Once it's dry, you can just go ahead and just lightly rub that away, and that's the sort of texture it gives you. So it's perfect for things like a winter scene. If you've got ice or frost in the scene, then this is perfect to get those textures. And now just filling out some water in this landscape. It's quite a rugged landscape, and I wanted to add some water, mountains, water, that sort of thing. And I'm using almost the same colours that I've used in the sky, just a mix of what's on the palette. And I'm allowing just a few little sparkles in the water. Just quickly move the brush across as quick as you can, and you will, and the drier the brush, the more sparkles you'll have on the paper. So I wanted to add a couple of trees as well. So I'm using my, just the corner, you can see just the corner of my hake brush. This is a small 1-inch hake brush, just to add some foliage, and then I'll be adding the trunks and things after I've added some of that foliage. So just going on there with a smaller brush just to add some of those branches. I want to connect the branches to the foliage, and you can add all sorts of different colours to this, so it's really quite nice to do. And then you want different sort of tones, you want some darks in there, you want some shadows, just to add interest and make this these trees sort of stand out if it's going to be a focal point. And I think at this point in this painting, I think it will be a bit of a focal point, that with the rocks and the sort of landscape just behind the trees, and they've got a nice setting of the sky with the yellow ochre as well. So you can take your time doing this. You can really sort of add as much detail as you want. I'm keeping this quite simple, and you can see I'm adding a little bit of pen work. I just want to strengthen some of those lines and give a little bit more texture to the trees so that they become quite sharp in contrast to the softer background. If you're enjoying this video so far, then please do give me a thumbs up, and also let me know what you think in the comments section. I do welcome all comments too. So I wanted to keep this video quite short, quite brief, so hopefully you watched it all the way through. Just removing the tape now always looks good once you remove the tape. Just gives you an idea of what your painting might look like once it's framed, if you want to frame your work, and gives it a nice finished look. So hopefully you do like this one. Hope you like the different techniques. Hopefully it's something you might try if you've not already. Just to add some salt, regular table salt, use some cling film, kitchen film, and lift with using your brush, and also not to forget the scraping out with credit card to give those rocks and textures. So that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed painting it. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.